Y yo te estoy preguntando, a mí,
All right, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to talk to you about this because you're in my class right now, but please remember, as we go along, some of you miss a day here or there, some of you start to miss things. If you miss things and don't turn them in, that is the fastest way to fail this class, okay? Because if you don't turn something in, you get a 0 on it. If you turn it in and it is done, you will at least get a 50% on it, okay? So just a reminder, there are a number of things on the board up here. You should have done your lab safety quiz. If you have not done your lab safety quiz, you need to do it. It is online. You simply go to it, ladies and gentlemen, and then you complete it, okay? So it can be done. Do you have a computer? Go down to the library and grab one. Go. Okay? Thank you. So, again, we'll have 3 quizzes by the end of this week. Your Oreo double stuff lab is out there, ladies and gentlemen. If you never finished that and turned that in, if you never finished the measuring activity and turned it in, if you never did the problem solving activity, if you don't do these things, ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to do very well in this class. Okay? Anything that you have a question on, anything that you have problems with, all you got to do is come and see me. You can see me before school, you can see me during school or after school, you can see me during home base. And when I give you time to work on things in class, instead of sitting there and doing nothing, you can work on them and you can get them done. Or you can ask me questions and I will be more than happy to help you. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at our pair deck for today. All right, so this is on some of the things that we talked about yesterday. 3 things shown in any measurement. I wrote the quiz today. I guarantee you this is a question on your quiz today. What we started out with yesterday, when you look at a measurement, like all of the ones you made in the measuring activity lab, what are 3 things that are shown in every measurement? Give me one of them. Numbers or quantity. I will accept it either way. The number or the quantity. What else has to be with the number or the quantity? A unit. Now, some numbers have decimals, some do not. So that is not one that has to be in that, and that would be part of the number anyway. But after you write a number or quantity, you have to put a unit with it so we know what you're describing, what you're talking about. Now, the third thing was a little bit harder to find. It wasn't as obvious. What was the third thing shown in any measurement?
Uncertainty.
Slash. You remember the other word? You're correct. I would give you credit for that. But there was another word that went with it.
Precision.
Precision. Precision and uncertainty, along with the quantity and the unit, are the 3 things shown in any measurement. I guarantee you on your quiz on Friday, that is a 3-point question. Now, if I were you, I would be taking out your yellow periodic tables and I would be writing it on there, but that is completely and totally up to you, ladies and gentlemen. These are the 3 things shown in any measurement. Again, please remember, anything that you write on that yellow periodic table, you can use when you are taking a quiz or a test. Now, here's the other thing. Don't come in on Friday, grab somebody else's and think you're going to use it during the test. Even if they are finished, you cannot hand someone a sheet of paper during a quiz and it be considered anything other than cheating. If you don't have a periodic table, I will give you one, but mine will be blank. So again, don't lose your periodic table. You're starting to put notes on it. You're starting to get some things on there that you need. Please don't use it. Don't lose it. I'm sorry. Okay? Which of the following statements is true? You're going to take your icon and you're going to drag it to one of these two statements. A digit can be made up of multiple numbers. A number can be made up of multiple digits. Only one of those is true. Take your cursor and drag it onto the one that is true. A digit can be made up of multiple numbers. A number can be made up of multiple digits. Okay, most of you chose to put it on the correct answer, which is a number can be made up of multiple digits. A number is one value. A digit is one place within that number. Okay? How many sig figs in this following number? How many sig figs in this following number? Please just type in your answer. Now, before I show you the answer, a little bit of a quick review. These zeros right here are where? The beginning. Now, you can have multiple zeros in the beginning of a number, but it has to have a what with it? Decimal. So it's got to be a decimal number. We're not going to start out a number 00325. Okay? Even if we did, do these digits mean anything? No. Okay? But here, I have to put them in there because that is the only way to get this number into what we call the hundredths place. It's the only way. Okay? So these zeros at the beginning of a number, are they significant or not? Nope. All zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. So, just like these two zeros here, we don't count these two zeros. Now, the 2 is the first what we call non-zero digit. Now we start counting sig figs. Okay? Now, this 0 right here is in the what? The middle. That is the second place that a 0 can be. Why is it in the middle? Here's a non-zero digit. Here's a non-zero digit. Anytime you are between two digits that are not zeros, it is considered to be in the middle. Doesn't matter where in the middle, just in the middle. Are digits, are zeros in the middle of a number significant? Yes. Zeros in the middle are significant. So we have 1, 2, 3 sig figs right now. Now we have one more 0, ladies and gentlemen, and that 0 is at the end. Now, this is the only digit, this 0 in this spot, that we ever have to do something more. Zeros at the end of a number are sometimes significant. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. 0 at the end of a number is significant if what? If there's a decimal point. So, no matter where that decimal point is, as long as the decimal point is shown somewhere in that entire number, those zeros or 0 at the end will be significant. It is not significant if there is no decimal. Now again, you cannot write this number without having a decimal in it. Okay? But a number like that has zeros at the end and there is no decimal shown. So going back to our original question, how many sig figs in that number? There are 4. 4. Okay? Again, we started with the 2, the 0, the 3, and yes, that last 0 is significant. How about this number over here? How many sig figs in it? 2. 2. This is all of the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Beginning, never significant. Middle, always significant. And I should have put that down. I wrote it as yes, but it should have been always. And at the end, it depends on if a decimal point is shown. Those are your entire rules. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't remember this, your yellow sheet is a great place to put this. Okay? Zeros at the beginning, never significant. Zeros in the middle are always significant. Zeros at the end, significant if there is a decimal point. They're not significant if there is no decimal point. Questions? There were 4 here. Okay, this number. How many sig figs in this number? So when you look at this number, Faustino, how many sig figs do you get? Can I ask which one are the 4 that are significant? Which digits? You just took a guess? Okay, fair enough. Okay. Now, to be honest with you, if you've been listening, paying attention, you should maybe be debating between what 2 amounts. It could be what or what when you look at this. Genesis, can you answer that, or are you just going to give me the right answer?
No, I'm going to guess.
You're going to guess? Okay, go ahead.
3.
Okay. 3 is one of the possibilities. The 1, the 0, and the 2. That is one of the 2 possibilities. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right yet, but that is one. What is the other only possible answer that it could be, Christian? 6. These zeros at the end, they either are or they are not going to be significant. So these 3 numbers we know for sure are. Why? This 0 is in the middle. So now we're debating between either 3 or 6. What do you got, Genesis? Why? Yes. Why aren't the zeros at the end significant here? Christian? There's no decimal point. There's no decimal point. So without a decimal, those 3 zeros at the end are not significant. They are not significant. Okay? Now, I'm telling you, this is not only going to be on your quiz. This is going to be something we are going to be doing all year long in this class. And I know it is something different, something that you haven't had to worry about in science class before. But in this class, we have to be able to talk about sig figs. Okay? All right. So, okay, so take a look at these numbers real quick. Okay, all 4 of these numbers have basically the same digits. The same numbers, correct?
Yes.
Now, the first one, again, has zeros in the beginning, has zeros in the middle, and has zeros at the end. So the question becomes, what do we know about zeros at the beginning? Okay, so ignore this. Okay, what do we know about zeros in the middle? Okay, and then what do we know about zeros at the end? Okay, so how many sig figs in this number? 4. How many sig figs in this number? Only 3. Now, why only 3? Because this one, and this one count. But this last 0, because there is no decimal, does not count. Now, it has to be there. Because without that 0, excuse me, Miss Wren. Okay. Not a problem. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Okay. So, again, I'm sorry I got disrupted, but we cannot write this number without this 0, because without this 0, here's what the number becomes. Right? Now, these both have 3 sig figs, but this is a much smaller number than this one. This is 3020. This is 302. If you're okay with people doing this, I want to be your banker. Because I will take $3,200 or $20 from you, and I will give you $302 back, and we'll call it even. That doesn't work, does it? We need that 0 in here so that we keep the digits in the correct place values. But that 0 doesn't have to be significant. How many sig figs here? 4. The decimal makes the 0 at the end significant. This is still a 0 in the middle. This one was never in question. But now the 0 at the end, because of the decimal, becomes significant. How about here? 4 again. Well, what's different between here and here?
It's a smaller number. Decimal place.
It's a smaller number, but it's still, here's your 0 in the middle. Here's your 0 at the end. Here's the decimal that makes it significant.
They're all 4. All of them are 4.
This is 4. This is 4. This is 4. Okay? This one was not. Remember, this one was 3, right? Okay? Because the 0 was at the end and there was no decimal. So, how many here? There were 4 here. 4 here. How many here? 4. Okay? 0 at the end is still significant because there's a decimal. Okay. That's the rule, right? How many there? Still 4. It doesn't matter where the decimal is within the number. It makes the zeros at the end significant. Okay? But if there's no decimal, the zeros are not. How many sig figs? 3. Only 3. How many sig figs? 3. Again, the 0, I don't care how many zeros are at the end of a number. If there's no decimal, they don't count. Questions? Okay. Are there any off of the worksheet that you have? All right. Here's what I would like you to do. Go into Canvas real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Go into Canvas. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, let me know. Okay? Go into Canvas, and I want you to find this assignment, and I want you to open it up. So go to Modules. Rounding with Sig Figs worksheet. Open this worksheet up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyone need help finding this? Okay. Now, one of the things that we sometimes have to do is we have to round numbers. Okay? We have to round numbers. We do a calculation in our calculator, we get a number that has decimal points that goes on forever. We don't want to write all those numbers down. We only want to write down the numbers that have meaning. That's what sig fig is about. Significant figures is about numbers that actually have meaning, that were measured, that were somehow accounted for. Your calculator doesn't know anything about sig figs. All it knows is how to take and add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That is all it knows how to do. So it will give you a number like this for a math problem. 2.36897. Well, there are going to be times where you have to round that to a certain number of sig figs. So that is what I am asking you to do here. And we're going to go through. I'll do a couple with you, and then I'm going to let you do them on your own. Now, here's the good news. The rules for rounding in science are the same as the rules for rounding in math. What I mean by that is when you figure out how many sig figs you are rounding to, in this number right here, 32.136, what is the fourth significant figure in this number, Virginia? If you start on the far left, counting sig figs, which digit, the 3, the 2, the 1, the 3, or the 6, would be the fourth sig fig? This 3, correct? Okay, so we are now going to round this number to that place. That is where we are going to round this number. Hang on, let me get my thing going here real quick. All right. So we are rounding this number to 4 sig figs. This is the fourth sig fig. So in math class, if you were rounding this number to this place, how do you determine if we leave that a 3 or if we move it up to be a 4? Jonathan.
If it's 5 or above.
If what's 5 or above? Thank you. If the next number is 5 or above. Same exact rules in science. Same exact rules in science. So what is the number right after that 3? A 4. A 6. Yeah. So what do we have to do to that 3 if the number after it is a 6?
Round it up.
So what does our number become?
4.
Tell me the whole number though.
Oh, 32.14.
32.14. 32.14. Genesis.
Is it gonna matter if it does? So like the second one, you still want us to round that one up too?
I'm sorry, the second one, when you say second one, you gotta.
The front. Sorry, the third one apparently.
This one?
Yeah. You have to round that one up too.
Okay, hang on, we'll get to that one in just a second. Okay? Because that one's a little bit trickier. Let's go up and let's do the one on the top here. It's a little bit easier first. Okay? Now, which digit? 410200. And when you tell me zeros, you'd have to tell me the first, the second, or the third. Which of those digits is the fourth sig fig in that number? The second what?
0.
Nope. The 2 is. Remember, because we're counting, here's 1 sig fig, 2, 3, 4. We're not just counting zeros. We're counting all the digits that are significant. Here's the first one, here's the second, here's the third, here's the fourth. Okay, so now if we were to round this, we look at the number after that, correct? What is it? Well, what's the number after that 2?
3.
The digit after that 2.
Oh, 1. 0. Oh. 3. Oh.
Thank you. You couldn't have pointed that out to her 2 minutes ago?
Sorry.
So what would our answer be when we round this number to 4 sig figs? What's that? 41.0. 2. It's okay. 41.02. That is this number rounded to 4 sig figs. Questions? All right, now we will go to the one you wanted to do.
Okay, I don't wanna do it, I just.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. In this number, right here, which digit is the third sig fig?
I'm gonna guess, okay?
Okay.
It's probably. It's probably 5. No, it's probably 0. The first 0. The first 0.
Boy, I wish you would have just stayed with your original gut
So
instinct.
it is 5.
Well, the 1 is the first, right?
Right.
2 is the second. That 5 is the third. Okay. Now,
No, it's because I just can't see.
Nope. That's fine. Now, what's the digit after the 5?
A 0.
Okay. So what is that going to do to this 5?
It's gonna stay the same.
Okay. So I'm going to write down 1. Oops. Switch to a better instrument. Here we go.
That's what I know.
1, 2, 5. What do I do with all these other places?
You leave them there.
Okay, but if I leave these as 3 and 6, what does that do to these zeros?
Well, they go away.
Okay, if they go away, again, I want to be your banker, Genesis. You just took $1,250,000 and made it into $125. You're now a poor person, and I'm now happy. Because you changed the value of your number.
So would you raise the 3 to 4?
Nope. We want to put digits in there that are not significant. What is the only digits we can put in there that is not significant?
0.
So that is exactly what we do. We take and we put in zeros. So we do 1, 2, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0.
So what's the
Now, again, look at this number. How many sig figs?
3?
3. That is what we wanted, right? We still need these places so that we don't change the value, but what we do is we change them to zeros. Okay? We change them to zeros. So, try this one.
I will. I already got it.
Okay? What do you got?
I got 65.04.
Whoa. You're looking at the wrong.
Wait, which one are we on then?
Sorry. I'm jumping around on you here.
I thought we were going by column.
Well, we're jumping around a little bit.
Okay. See that?
This one right here.
Wait, I got it though. That one. I see it. Okay, so it's I don't got it. I got 7, 8, or 8.
You are very close. You have got the right 3 digits. You just forgot one thing.
0?
A 0 at the end.
So where do you?
So, take a look. This 7 right here is the third sig fig. So Myra is absolutely correct. We have to move that up to a what? An 8. So we have 7, 8, 8. But this 7 was 4 places to the left of where a decimal would be, correct? So this 7 needs to stay 4 places to the left of where a 0 would be. So we have to add a 0 there. On the first column, the second one here, I didn't put a 0 because this was where I was stopping. It was after the decimal. Okay? It was after the decimal. I was stopping my number there. So I got rid of this 3 by moving it up to a 4, and then I just didn't write the next digit because this is where I was stopping. Here, I'm stopping here. I'm way to the left of the decimal. I still need to account for these 4 other places. So I have to put zeros in for them.
So if it's a whole number, you have
You may have to put in zeros. Good. That's a great way of saying it. So when you're rounding to a whole number, like in the tens, in the 10,000s, you're going to have to put in zeros to finish out your number. Okay? You're going to have to put in zeros to finish out your number. Okay? Now, this one, the ones with decimals, you should have no problem doing. The ones without decimals, the ones that are whole numbers, as Amira said, remember when you round, put zeros in to fill in the places that you're rounding. So take about 3 or 4 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen, try to get these rounded. Let's go. Now, by the way, the reason I put your desk together like this was not so that you had somebody to talk to in class. You were doing just fine on that on your own anyway. I put them together so that when we do something like this, you have someone who you can compare with. Someone who you can argue with in some cases over who's right and who's wrong, but you were fighting nicely. It's okay. I don't mind.
She couldn't see, so
I understand. It took 2 of you to see her straight. I understand. That happens.
Chill out. The only disclaimer gives me.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the bathroom passes are now supposed to be working. But they are in my class. At least they have been. So when you walk up to the kiosk over here, you type in your ID number. It'll ask you where you want to go. Hit bathroom. Bathrooms are right behind my room here, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, if they would put a door in that wall there, I could go to the bathroom without having to leave my room. But they won't do it, I've asked. Okay? So the bathrooms are there. Type your number in, bathroom, go. When you come back, type your number in, it ends your pass. If you type your number in and it doesn't ask you where you're going, it's not letting you write a pass. Okay? Okay, which one?
Okay, so,
I think I do.
okay,
But I didn't
you
understand.
missed, yep, you missed this at the start.
Yes, you can.
Zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. Okay, so these 2 zeros, don't start counting siblings yet.
I think I got it.
Get to the 3, right? Now, these zeros are at the end, there's a decimal, so they are significant. So when you count that, how many sig figs do you see?
There's
That number, it's already in there, sig figs for it.
Okay?
No, because my eyes hasn't been making eyes. You should be studying. You weren't studying.
Don't forget, you still have to put in the 0.0. Okay, so rather than that, it just started out.
Mr. Brennan.
Do I want to or will I?
Oh, wait, no.
I don't even hear it. I have hearing problems.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
I'm about to buy another
You didn't round this up to 4 sig figs.
I'll have a lot.
Oh, it's still mine.
When there's a decimal, you can only have 4 digits here. There's a decimal in there, you can only, and it starts with a 0, so you can only have 4. Here, this one has 3.
Yeah.
So you didn't go far enough, you only want 2. What's the second sig fig in that number?
Oh, I told you I need glasses.
Extreme bigger. I think she needs a lot more.
Wow. Wait.
For that one? That is no. You still have 3 sig figs. Get rid of the zeros. If you look at that number, there's 3 sig figs. Well, that last one we only want 2 sig figs. 0, 3.3 would be 2 sig.
Well, I don't have a put on my phone.
Well, you just add the 0 that you. You don't need the 0. That's the best one.
Well, I got paid so well this time that I would win.
You're right.
You're right. I'm saying that you don't add the extra zeros. Because it says round up.
At the front, they don't, but when you write that number, you still need to put 0.0 something because you don't start seeing things until you get to 3.
Wasn't that true? Not you.
Correct. Well, remember, it's the next digit after where you're rounding. And if that is 5 or greater, we're going to round the number up. If it's 4 or less, you're just going to leave it. Okay? So let's see. Okay, now hang on. Here's what I want you to do. Without, forget about what you typed. So you look at that number, how many sig figs are there?
2.
With the round up.
Oh, wait, the middle one.
No, there are no middle ones.
I know.
The 2 zeros here
No.
are at the beginning. They do not count, right? Where are the other 2 zeros? At the end. Do they count?
Nomás Dios
So how many sig figs? How many are you trying to write?
Yeah, right?
Bro, that's freaking
How many does it ask you to write?
Mr. Brand?
It's already in. We just removed the number.
You're so.
Okay?
How could you not? Y eso que, Mr. Brand, can I get a cup of water?
Sure, there's seats all over the room. Go help yourself. You want a coffee?
I want fresh water.
That is as fresh as it gets. That comes right from the same pipe.
I don't think I'm passing. No, it doesn't.
You're passing.
I'm past. I'll pass. Pass to the next one. But it's nothing clean. Can I go use the bathroom?
Most of them you're right. So which one? That means that when you look at the whole number, the most sig figs that you well, in reality, it is because to show 4 sig figs, you go to the 4 sig fig, and that's where you round. You can't go any further.
Why do you go to geometry now?
Correct. Correct. Because when you're looking at the 4 sig figs, everything afterwards. All right. So let's see how you did, ladies and gentlemen. 65.036. 65.036. All right, Marissa, what did you have for that? 65.036 to 3 sig figs. 65.0. That is perfect. Where's my thing?
What do you mean 65.0?
Okay, let me explain.
Okay, I'm glad you asked. Let me explain.
The third sig fig is this 0, correct? Why is the 0 significant? It's in the middle. It's going to be at the end, but it was in the middle. So it was significant for sure either way, right? The number after it is a what? So if I'm stopping there because this is the third sig fig, do I leave that as 0 or do I move it up to be a 1? So then that becomes 65.0. Correct. Correct. We're rounding. There are more places there than we need, so we are getting rid of some. Okay? All right. 5.40457. We want to go to 4 sig figs. 4 sig figs. Leslie, what did you write down? Nothing. Okay? All right, Leslie. Count and find me the 4th digit in this number that is significant. The first or the second? Okay, perfect. So we can work with this. Okay? Now, if we're going to round to there, that means that's going to be the last digit we show. We're going to get rid of this 5 and 7. We don't need it. But before we do, the number after the 4 is a 5. What does that mean we do to this 4, Leslie? So what does this number become? Perfect. 5.405. Perfect. Questions? All right. 1,236. This one is a little bit more difficult because, as Amira told us, we're now working with a whole number. Okay? What? Well, seriously, if you got a question, please ask. Luis.
Is it 1200?
Perfect. 1200.
Okay, where'd you get the 2 zeros?
You copied me. Alright, buddy. I'll have to see you.
Okay, so which digit is the second sig fig?
3.
No,
2.
the 2.
What?
Right? That's the second one.
Oh.
So, do I leave that a 2 or do I move that up to a 3?
Leave that at 2.
And then I have to fill in these two places, the 3 and the 6, with zeros. Okay? Good. Questions? All right. 1,255,036. You think you got this one?
Think is a big word. So 1, 2, 5, 5. 0, 0, 0.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay? 0.03600. Jonathan.
0.3600.
Try saying that again one more time, please.
0.3600. Like that?
0.3600.
No, without the zero in the beginning. It doesn't matter. So that's an extra zero and I'm losing.
So like that.
Maybe.
0.3600.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, now here's what I will tell you. I agree, you have 4 sig figs here.
Okay.
But what did you do to the number?
Which one?
Oh, you said 5.
You made the number bigger.
I made it bigger.
Why?
You forgot to.
Because that one doesn't, that's not a six figure.
I understand it's not,
You forgot the zero.
but this digit right here, Jonathan, is how many places beyond the decimal?
Which one?
The 3. No,
Oh, 2, wait.
2. You've made it so now that digit is only 1 place beyond the decimal. Remember, the zeros at the beginning are not significant. They don't count as being significant. So why do we show them? We show them because it still holds a place value. Okay? So why do we put these zeros at the end here? Because without it, we would take 1,200 and we would make it into 12.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of did the same thing here. You took 0.036 and you made it 0.36. So I agree with you that 0.0 is not significant, but we need to include it.
Just that, that's the beginning zero? That's it?
What's it?
Just that beginning zero?
No. Well, here's the thing. I don't care if you show the 0 before the decimal. That one doesn't matter. In science, most of the time they will show it to draw attention to the decimal. Okay? But neither one of these count, but I would still write them both. This one for sure you have to write. This one is optional. But you can't not write that one.
How would you put it?
Okay. So what you would do, there you go. Now you're looking at me and going, well, wait a minute. Didn't you just rewrite the same number that was there?
Yeah.
Well, how many sig figs are in this number?
4.
So you just have to rewrite the number.
Yeah.
Genesis, no with the zeros at the beginning. They don't count. So there's only 4 sig figs there.
I didn't think you heard me.
Okay, I did.
I think.
I need to end the pack.
Yes, you do. Please.
So,
Type in your ID number. Go ahead.
so then, are we done with that one?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your answer. All right, the next one, 5.40557. All right, Brianna, what do you got? The 5 sig figs. Five point 4046. Yes? Perfect.
Wait,
I put 7 instead of 6.
wait.
Why would you put a 7 instead of a
It was
6?
a misclick. It was a misclick.
I put a 5. I put a 5 in that 4.
Okay. You put a 5 in that 4.
No, I put that. I put a 5 in that 4, the second 4, and then I put the 6.
Here?
Yeah, and then I put the 6.
No, don't do that. Well, because you rounded this number and then you rounded that number. The only digit we ever round is the very last one. Okay? That's the only one we round. The only time we would do what you did, Genesis, is if we had some 9s at the end. You know, we have 9 and we need to round it up to a 10 and then there's another 9 next to it. That's the only time. All right, 3.256 to 2 sig figs, Yomali. What do you got? Nothing? Okay, what's the second sig fig in here? Which, the 2. What's the number after the 2? So what does this become? Instead of 3.2, it becomes? What do we do to this 2 because of the 5? There you go. There you go. 3.3. Questions? Now, again, when you are doing things in this class, when you are adding measurements, when you are dividing 2 numbers because we're finding the mass of something divided by its volume, you are going to get a number out of your calculator. You are going to have to figure out how many sig figs it has. And eventually you're going to have to round your number. That's what we were just practicing, rounding a number. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to quickly do is now we are going to round numbers to a place. Okay? The ones place is just to the left of the decimal. The tenths is just to the right of the decimal, and the hundredths is 2 places beyond the decimal. So if you'll notice this number, 26.36158, to the ones, it becomes 26. To the tenths, it becomes 26.4. Why 0.4?
Oh, because we rounded it.
Because the 3 gets rounded up by the 6. And then it becomes 26.36 to the hundredths place because after the 6 is a 1. So what I would like you to do is take these numbers and round them to each of those places real quick. Okay? So take the numbers and round them to those places. If you need a hand, raise your hand, call me over. I will be happy to come over and help. And honest, I will ignore Genesis if someone else needs help. I'm kidding. Well, no, I'm not, but I will anyway.
So would I round this into 2?
No. The digit, well, first of all, that's to the tenths place.
Oh, so I'm ahead of myself. So that's good, right?
So go back to that number. There you go. But why would we move it up if the number after it?
So it'd be 1. So what is it?
Yup.
It'd be 1.4.
Stop, that's not to the ones place.
So it would be 2.
No,
Oh my
That's to the tenths.
So it'd be 2.
No, why would you move the 1 to a 2 when the number after is a 3?
So what will we do? Mr. Rand. Keep the. Wait, but she's skipping.
Okay, but come here.
Where's the
One's
So
place.
it'd be 1.
Why would you round it up when the number after is a 3?
Wait, did you check this one though? Correct.
No. You're one place too far.
So 1, 4, 6.
You're still one place too far. Now you just changed the numbers, you didn't change the placing.
Yes, I.
The tenths is 1 after the decimal, not 2.
I'm not good at decimals. I'm going to.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, it's one place beyond the decimal.
Mr. Rand.
Your number is how many?
So.
How many is your number?
No.
What do you mean?
How many places did you put after you wrote a decimal?
One. You're right. 2. 1.
After, to the right.
So 2. No, 1.
0.47. How many places is that?
Did I not have that down? Oh no, I have 1.37. Wait. So it'd be 1.47.
Okay, I agree with the 1.
Yep, so that's still.
Point.
Ira.
Listen, you're only going to one place after the decimal. Look at your number. How many places are there?
1.
No. Look at your number.
Oh, 2.
Okay, I only want that to one place after the decimal. Get rid of that last digit.
No, because if it's a 5, remember.
That is now one place after the decimal.
Oh.
So that is good?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, do the same one to two places.
Okay, wait, watch me do it.
Only once you run the test.
Why did you make the 3 or 4? Leave the 3 after the decimal.
Okay, so 1.3.
Now, look at the last number, the 6, right? What number is after it?
7.
No, what number, in your original number, what number is after the 6?
2.
So why would you move that up to a 7?
So it'd be 1.32.
No.
Mr. Rand, you
Skip
don't
the
make
whole
sense
place.
sometimes. Okay, so it'd be 1.372. Correct.
You're doing this, 1.362. You're stopping here. Stop it.
Stop.
Do you leave that as a 6 or do you make it a 7?
A 7. Oh,
Oh, why? There's a 2 after.
so you leave it at 6.
So then what's your number become?
1.36.
Stop! Stop there!
Mr. Rand.
What you're doing is you're taking that 6 and you're rounding that up to a 4, but then you're putting the next number in. You don't do that.
You're taking We're going to That's where you
Well,
lost.
I hate to say it, but you're gonna run into a lot of decimals in the chemistry class. A lot. Okay.
Natalie, why are you laughing? Oh, she said she's done. I'd like to copy off. I see. Okay, wait. So this one would be. Okay, so let me explain to you.
With that one, yes, you would. It would be 1.0.
You see this 1.3?
Because you're rounding that 9 to a 10 because of the 6 afterwards, then you do 1.0.
I didn't know if I have to go past it.
You can go back, you can go to the left and make those numbers bigger if the number on the right tells them to. Okay?
Is it good?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Jonathan, what?
Oh, you check it. You just closed it.
It's not there. How am I supposed to check it?
Well, if you just closed it. It was touching.
Okay, first of all, these touch screens never work for me. I touch them, they never work.
That's the lowest stuff.
Very good.
Maybe.
Very good. How are we doing? Good questions?
Mr. Brandon, you use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I give up. Me answering like I even know. So you don't know? No, I don't. I know when you put a 3 instead of a 2. I wasn't even on.
So for this one, 1.3. That's all I'm doing.
I've been
1.3.
asking
Does that 3 make the 1 stay 1 or no? Leave the 1. That's the 1. These are perfect. Those are perfect. So then when you go to the next box, you're going to the tens place. So now you go 1.3 and you look at the next number, which is a 6. Do you leave that at 3 or do you round it up? So we say just 1.4. Now, when you're going to do this next one, 1.36. And then, no, don't do the 4. We're back to 36. What's the number after the 6? Do I leave it at 6 or do I move it up to 7? Because of the 2 after? So what would it be?
Te digo que por lo menos cómo se estudia.
You're going to the 6. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. 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 One too many here. One too many zeros in there. You're only supposed to have 3 sixes. Okay. So this one here, 0.9. You're rounding that to the 1.
Is that right?
You're a bum.
No, because that doesn't go 2 places beyond the decimal. You only have 1 digit after the decimal. You're rounding to the second place after the decimal. No, this one, which one is
How?
Let me explain.
All right. If you're starting to talk, it means you're probably done and you're probably ready for some explanations here. Good. I'm ready for that. All right. All right, Luis. 1.362975 rounded to the ones place would become 1. 1. Now, when you're rounding this to the ones place, what you're really doing is from this number, you're only looking at this, 1.3. Here's the ones place. We look 1 beyond it because that's a 3. What do we do to the 1? We leave it. Questions? All right, Luis, to the tenths, what would this be? That same one that you just did. Now we're going to go to the tenths place, right next to it. Perfect. 1.4. Now again, this is because your number that you're looking at is 1.36. That 6 says to take that 3 and move it up to a 4, right? Okay. Edelyn, what would be our last one here? 1.36. Now, here's the thing where people start getting mad at me. Well, Mr. Brand, if I rounded this up to a 4, shouldn't this still be a 4? No. The reason you rounded this up to a 4 was because of the 6 after it. Now we're going beyond it. So we go 1.36 and we look beyond that 6 and the number after it is a 2. Do I round that 2 up or do I leave it? I leave it. So that's the 1.36. Okay? So this is the same number rounded to 3 different places. Okay? Same number rounded to 3 different places. All right. Jordan, 2,152.36915 rounded to the ones place. 2152. Perfect. The number after the 2 is a 3. So I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to move that 2 up. All right, Jordan, give me the number rounded to the tenths place now, please.
2152.4.
Now, again, now instead of looking at the 3, we are looking at the 9 or 6. After the 6, or I'm sorry, my bad. We're rounding to the 3. The number afterwards is a 6, so that 3 gets moved up to a 4. That's how we get the 4 here. Okay? Jonathan, what would this be rounded to the hundredths place?
That would be 2152.37.
0.37. So again, because we're going beyond this 3 to the 6, we put the 3 back in here. Okay? You always write your number until the last place. Okay? And then you look one beyond it. The only digit you ever round up or down is going to be the last number or the last digit in your number. Okay? The last digit in your number. That is the only one, unless it is like the next one. So with this next one, ladies and gentlemen, when we round this number to the ones place, 0.9, that 9 tells us to do what? Somebody. How? Turns into a 1. That 0 becomes the next larger number, correct? Okay. Now when we go 0.96, what does the 6 do? To a?
To a 0, but it turns it into a 1.
It turns this 9 into a 0, but the 1 goes in this spot, correct? So that becomes 1.0. So that is one of the only times where rounding a number up will change the numbers before it, as if you're at like a 0.9. Okay, but now the next one, when we're going to the hundredths, what would that be?
0.97.
Okay, so now because we are looking at this number 0.967, this 7 is going to cause the 6 to become the 7. That's not enough to move up the 9 next to it. Questions? Okay, 15.3659. All right, Cynthia, what would that be to the ones place? 15. What would it be to the tenths? Go ahead. Good. 15.4. What would it be to the thousandths place, Calvin?
Wait, which one are we on?
We're on the 15.3659 rounded to, I think I said thousandths, Calvin. I'm sorry, hundredths. 2 places beyond the decimal. What would that be? 15.37. Perfect. Questions? All right, so the last one here. Rounded to the ones place. What is 9.4? What does 9.4 become? Zamira.
Which one?
The last one in that top section that we were doing. 9.4. What does it become when we round it to the ones place? 9. How about to the tenths? 9.5. Again, the 4 gets rounded up because of the 5 after it. Okay? And finally, the last one here.
9.46 because of 8.
4, 6. The 8 causes the 5 to become a 6. Questions? Okay.
Are we going to do the last of the assignment tomorrow?
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to get my screen to move. Hang on, we're not done yet.
You have your,
No, I didn't have it frozen. It was, my screen freezes up on me up here sometimes. Now, give me your attention, please. Okay. Where is the tens place in this number?
4.
the 4, which means we're rounding a whole number, correct? So what does this become rounded to the tens place again? Okay, but how would we write this number?
6,250.913.
Oh, no.
Or you.
Stop at the 50.
Okay.
If we're rounding here, this becomes a 0. We don't report any of the decimal points. Okay? Now, here's the problem when we have something like, let's see. I guess you're not going to run into it in here. Nope. So these are ones where you're going to have zeros at the end, but they are not going to be significant. Okay? These are ones where you're going to have zeros at the end, but they are not going to be significant. Here, how can we round to the tenths place when there isn't one? We're literally going to add 0.0. And we can do that. We can add 0.0. So how would we take 624 and go to the hundredths place? Good. So in both of these problems, we are adding zeros to the end of our number. Here, they weren't significant. Here they are. Okay? So we will take a look at this tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Good work today. Good work today. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you tomorrow. You seem to be on the right track. Good job, Samara. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Have a good day.
You bet. You too. You too. See you later.
You saved my life, actually. Literally.
You saved her life.
Yes, I did.
You are a nice person.
I know.
Have a good day, sir.
Rochelle Edwards, please report to the attendance office. Rochelle Edwards.
That's fine. Come on in, take it out. Tell me what you need help with. Okay? Have a seat wherever you would like, sir.
It'll just be a second. I'm just gonna.
Hey, take your time. I'm gonna get some things organized myself. So when you're ready and you have a question, please just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Excuse me. I will be back in just 1 second, Ray. I just need to grab something out of the back room for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I normally send mine out ahead of me and I follow them too. So. Okay. Thank you. All right. You ready?
I think so.
Okay. So what do we got?
So it's I kind of want to go over ones that maybe won't be quite as obvious and ones that are.
Okay.
More.
Okay.
So, let's see. How about this one?
Okay. So here's what I'm going to ask you. Read the question. Tell me what you're trying to get to, and tell me what you're going to begin with.
Let's see.
Okay? So read through it really quickly here, or take your time and read through it. And then I want to know what unit you're trying to get into in the end, and what unit you're in at the beginning.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what unit are you trying to get into?
Let's see. I think you want to try and find volume.
Okay. So give me a unit of volume.
A unit?
Yeah. What unit would volume be in? Because there are lots of them.
Milliliters?
Okay. Milliliters. What else? Let me rephrase this. Look at your entire question. And in anywhere in your question, do you see anything that is a volume?
Mass? Wait.
Well, but mass is not a volume, right?
Mm-hmm. Mercury?
No. Keep reading. Look at the hint at the end.
Density? Or wait, centimeters cubed?
Is that a volume?
I think so.
Okay, then let's try to get into that because it's part of our problem. So we are trying to get into centimeters cubed. Okay, where do we begin with this problem?
Do we start at volume?
Nope. Because the volume is what we're trying to get to. So what does it say we're trying to find the volume of?
Of mercury.
How much?
That is 1.0 kilograms.
So that 1.0 kilograms is where your problem begins. Start off by writing that down.
Why would it be 1.0 kilograms?
Because that's how much of the sample you have. And it says convert this, or what volume would this mass of sample be? So this is one where, okay, this is what I'm starting with. This is what I'm ending with. Okay? Now I'm going to help you one thing here. Show you one little trick.
Oh, I accidentally started first one.
It's okay. Because what I would do is this. 2, how many centimeters cubed? This is a reminder. This is what I'm trying to get to and from. Okay? This number right here is density. I'm going to rewrite it. That way. So, for me to use this as a conversion factor, it would get me into what unit?
Centimeters cubed.
Okay, so I'm going to use that because I want to get into centimeters cubed, right? But to be able to use that, what unit do I have to be in?
Grams.
What unit am I in?
Kilograms.
So how do I get from between those?
Figure out how many kilograms are in a gram.
Good. Or you could simply ask me.
That's cute.
Okay. Do you know how many grams are in a kilogram?
No.
1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. So now, try to work that problem.
Okay.
Okay? While you're doing that, I'm going to find the sink that's leaking and I'm going to shut it off.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Never mind.
No, what's up?
It was